Let's go! I finally quit smoking. So I've been smoking for like literally ever since I was 20 years old, and I finally stopped smoking for good this time. And the reason I can say for good is because I've also previously stopped fapping, and they were basically correlated. Because I tried to stop fapping, but then I would keep smoking, or I tried to stop smoking, but then I would keep fapping, and I've basically stopped fapping for about 45 days. And I got to 30 days, but I was still smoking. And so that's why when I did the video of 30 days no fap, I didn't really get to realize the benefits because I was still smoking. So had I never been smoking, I probably would have noticed other benefits from not fapping, like being more social and things of that nature. But because I was still smoking, I couldn't really truly realize the results. But now that I've stopped smoking also, I can start to notice the results properly. And I just made the decision that I just have to stop. And because there's a multitude of different reasons of why I wanted to stop, but mainly the main reason why and what actually helped me stop the most is Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, the one true God. And we have to look at, what our own desires are and whether it brings us fulfillment. But then we have to take a step deeper, because once you go down that path of self-righteousness and trying to fulfill your own desires, you're going to realize that it's really not that fulfilling. Why? Because true fulfillment comes from God. And God sets the foundation and the standard for what we should live like. So if he says, be sober and be diligent, we have to be sober-minded. And God created us naturally in our natural, sober state of being. He didn't create us high. He didn't create us drunk. He didn't say to waste your life energy, your semen every single day. So once I really woke up to the truth and realized that God created that standard for a reason, not to hurt us, not to be a bully in control of us. He set that standard to help us the best. Because when you are at your best is when you're sober. And so me smoking all the time, it got to the point where I was like, I need to watch this movie while I'm high. It'll be better. Or I need to listen to this music. I can't listen to this music unless I'm high. It's not going to sound as good. Or I need to eat this food. I need to be high. And once you develop that addiction, it is very, very hard to stop it. And so I've tried to stop in the past. I tried to stop for just multiple different times. Like, all right, I'm going to stop for real this time. And then I would go back and buy another vape. Go back, buy another vape. Go back, buy some more weed. I stop for a couple days. I need it. I can't take the withdrawals. And that's the other thing. There is massive withdrawals when you stop smoking if you have been smoking for a long time. Anyone who says you can't get withdrawals off of weed, they don't know what they're talking about, or they haven't smoked enough. I firmly believe everyone will have some type of withdrawals from weed if you've been smoking long enough. For me, it was about 6 years. And so I'm on 10 and a half days right now. So this is about the longest I've been, because in the past, about 3 or 4 months ago, I stopped no fap and no weed for like 2 weeks, but I think I smoked after like 10 days. So now I'm on no fap 45 days, and I had to complete it. I wasn't fully, complete and able to reach my full potential if I was hanging on to this drug, this weed addiction. Even though I curbed the masturbation and the fapping addiction, I was still holding on to that weed addiction. And you can't truly tap in to your highest level of enlightenment and righteousness until you curb all your addictions. So I have officially stopped smoking. I've ended the addiction, and the past couple days have been absolutely crazy withdrawals. And it's weird because in the past when I stopped, the worst withdrawals, it felt like were the first couple days. But this past time, the first couple days, I barely felt anything. It was like it was like 5 or 6 days in, that's when it started. My stomach started hurting. I literally thought I had COVID, or I guess you can't say that on super strict YouTube. I thought I had coronavirus or whatever, because I had a headache, I had a stomach ache, I had like just these quivers, I had all these problems. I'm like, why do I feel so sick? And then I realized, I looked up the effects of marijuana withdrawals, and it was clearly, as clear as day, verified weed withdrawals. It had nothing to do with the flu or COVID or anything like that. It was weed withdrawals. I said, oh, check. Irritability, like restlessness, stomach, nausea, headache, and then like shaking, literally. It's called Trevor's or something with a T, but I looked up what that meant, and it meant shaking. And I was doing that. I was like, I'd be staring straight, right? But I would be like twitching and stuff, and my hands would be shaking. So I'm like, why am I shaking? It was the marijuana withdrawals. But the key to that is staying busy. With me, I've been hitting the gym, going to the beach, swimming, playing basketball, lifting, working as much as possible. You have to stay busy in that time, because once this withdrawal phase passes, that's when you could truly start seeing the beneficial effects. But even just after 10 days, I can already notice like I'm more smart, I'm more witty, I'm more articulate, and I'm just better focused, I'm more productive. Like in the past, I'm about to go to the gym right now, right after making this. I would have probably right now, after going to the beach, I would have smoked 100%. I would have smoked right now, or I probably would have just smoked before going to the beach, because that's the thing. It's deceptive, and that's why I think it's of the devil, because the devil is a master manipulator and a master deceiver. So if the weed is deceiving you into thinking, oh, I just need to smoke before going to the beach, it'll just feel so much better, or I just need to smoke before doing this, or I just need to smoke and not go to work, I need to smoke and lay down and play these stupid video games. That's all deceptive. That's deceiving you into being a worse lazy bum and strengthening your addiction. Because that's the problem. The more you do it, the more your body is gonna want it. That's why the withdrawals are so strong. So then it's just bad when you start doing it, when you start relying on it for every single thing. I was even relying on it to go to the gym. I was like, no, these songs are gonna sound so much harder when I'm high, and maybe I'll have a better workout when I'm high. Sure enough, no, of course I didn't have a better workout. I'm sitting there huffing and puffing after a couple sets because I'm high as crap. You know what I mean? So it's like, either way you look at it, you try to justify it, it's just bad, man. And I hope that my testimony could help other people. Like, you don't need weed. In fact, being sober is superior. So if you're trying to better yourself, you're trying to be the best version of yourself, and being sober is superior, why would you do something that makes you less superior? It makes you less good, less productive, less righteous to God, most importantly. You can't. So I made the decision to finally stop. And here's the thing, the hardest part is when you first stop. Because with the masturbating and the fapping, the hardest part was like early on. Once I got to like day 30, I almost stopped counting. Like I don't even know what day I'm on. I only know whenever I check. Like I don't like keep track, you know what I mean? Because it's just like, I'm too far into it now. It's like, I'm not going to break my streak after being so far on. Now, obviously, you know, in this flesh form, you have temptations of the flesh. So you have random urges that'll pop up. But what I've noticed is I haven't even really cared. Like, you know, other people do no fap to get women and stuff. It's like, for me, it's like, I've almost noticed women less because I'm not even paying attention. Like, I literally just don't care. I'm focused on my goals. I'm focused on gaining more wisdom. I've already went down the path of trying to get rich and chase money. And, you know, that's idolatry. That just brings about unfulfillment, because when I finally got all the money, I wasn't fulfilled. So now what I'm chasing is wisdom, knowledge, at reading more books, just learning more Spanish. And the problem is, you would have that energy to be more productive when stopping, you know, masturbating. But then if you continue smoking, it brings about laziness. So even though you may have that urge and that energy within you with storing up your life energy, that weed has held you back. So it's like you're trying to accelerate, but you still have this baggage pulling you down, which is the weed. And that's what I was doing. So I decided I have to cut it out. I completely stopped. I said, I can't keep doing this. I feel like a hypocrite. I feel like I just feel weak. Wanting to stop something and not being able to stop it, that is a lack of control of your own life. That's unacceptable. So I said I have to stop, and I did. And the withdrawals were crazy. Today actually is the first day I almost don't really feel that bad, because, you know, it's almost day 11. But dude, like a week in, 8, 9, 10, my stomach was hurting, my head was hurting. I thought I was gonna throw up. Like, it was bad. But the only way is to go through it. I even had the urge. I was like, oh man, maybe I should just get some just for medicinal purposes, just to stop the withdrawal. It's like that would have just continued the addiction. So I've officially stopped smoking, and I'm gonna continue to do so. I'm gonna continue to go down this path of righteousness and down this path of sobriety. And I've already noticed productivity up, you know, mental awareness and clarity up. And, you know, I get like, I talk the worst when I'm on camera for some reason. I don't, maybe it's camera shy or whatever, but like a lot of times I'll talk to myself. Actually, I talk to myself all the time, and I'm much more articulate. But of course, when I turn the camera on, it's not my best. But this is just off the dome. This is off the top. You know, this is all improvised. This is just going straight. This is authentic. No edits, nothing. So all I have to say is, if you want to stop, I know it can be hard. It was hard for me. It took me months to actually finally officially stop, but I have done so. And the withdrawals, they may come. They certainly may come. They came for me, and they came strong about a week in. But I can already feel myself starting to get more energy, and just starting to feel better, and have more, you know, mental, you know, lack of fogginess, because that weed always creates that fogginess. So I'm starting to just feel more sharp-minded, and more smart, and obviously more productive, less lazy, and, you know, more free. Because let's face it, if you're smoking every day and you're trying to stop and you can't, you are literally a slave to the addiction. And nobody wants to be a slave to anything. Nobody wants to be addicted. So keep going strong. If you want to stop, you can do it, no matter how hard it may seem. Trust me, I wanted to keep doing it. My body kept wanting to do it. My soul didn't want to, but my flesh did. But the soul can overcome the flesh if you trust in Jesus and you pray to him and you have faith and patience. He will get you through any addiction. Don't do it for girls. Don't do it for any other reason other than bettering yourself and being righteous to God. when you focus on that, that is when you can truly break the addiction. Some people may be able to break it, regardless. Some people may be able to just cold turkey, just decide to do it. But I think for most people, it is very hard to just stop for no reason. For me, the reason was being righteous to God. And I'm going to continue the journey. Almost day 11, I'm going to get to day 20, day 30, and I'm really just going to, advance and progress in, being sober. So I'll update you again in another video. Thanks for watching.